substantial damage after a kitchen fire. Plus, Nelsonville voters elect a mayor for the first time in 3 decades. And in sports, round 2 of the high school playoffs are here. Take a look at some teams that had a bye last week in the 2-minute drill. Newswatch starts right now. Welcome to Newswatch. I'm Parker Davis. Jackie O's Public House restaurant is closed after the kitchen was substantially damaged in a fire. The Athens Fire Department was dispatched to the fire on West Union Street last night around 6:30 p.m. Individuals in the restaurant and in the neighboring buildings and apartment complex were all promptly evacuated. No injuries have been reported at this time. Jackie O's confirmed the kitchen sustained substantial damage and will be closed for the foreseeable future. Well, it is the first week of November, but honestly today didn't really feel on brand for the season. Isabel, tell us a little bit more about why that might be.
Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit warmer here in Southeast Ohio. This is kind of what they call their second summer. We are seeing those warmer temperatures, especially as we headed into later in the day. We almost reached 70. At the airport, it was reading 69.9 as our high for today, so almost 70. But right now we're looking at 68, starting to cool down for the day. And we're going to be seeing those temperatures not reach this high pretty much at all for the rest of the year. We might get a little close once again, but we're pretty set up for the next few months to be a lot chillier and even to see some snow in my future forecast. Well, currently out there, 67 degrees. We are going to be seeing a little bit more wind out there as this system starts to move its way through. We're seeing that 15-mile-per-hour wind and gusts up to 23 miles per hour, getting some of this haze out of our air because we will be seeing our temperatures tonight start to cool down and have a little bit of a clearing. And this clearing will continue as we head into tomorrow. We're going to see those mostly sunny skies, a little bit of a cooler temperature, but it'll definitely be a warm one out there, especially as we head into the next few days before we get some more snow on our forecast. Let's take it back over to Parker.
Thank you, Isabel. Athens City Council will be welcoming some new faces after last night's election results. Among the returning council members are Beth Clodfelder, Alan Swank, Jessica Thomas, Michael Wood, and Micah McCary, who will serve as council president. Councilmember Jeff Reisner and Solveig Spellness did not seek re-election and will be replaced by newcomers Megan Leah Almeida and John Adams Saster. Council members are elected for 2 terms and have no term limits. Nelsonville voters elected Councilmember Jonathan Flowers and Mayor Andrea Thompson-Hashman as city auditor. But the future of their positions in city government are still uncertain. Flowers and Thompson-Hashman both ran under Issue 23, a ballot initiative to change Nelsonville's form of government. In August, the council reappealed Issue 23, meaning none of the candidates who ran for seats under the initiative can take office when their terms start January 1st. The city is currently waiting for the court to decide if the reappeal of Issue 23 was valid. Tonight, Nelsonville City Council is holding a special meeting at 8 to discuss potential legal action against the Athens County Board of Elections and Secretary of State. The Ohio House will soon vote on a bill allowing counties, cities, and other local governments to block library levies from reappearing on the ballot. Libraries say the House Bill 137 bill is harmful and voters deserve the right to make decisions on money issues. The bill passed the committee by just 1 vote and could come up for a full House vote soon. Voters in Gloucester passed a tax levy to help fund the Trimble local school district. The levy is a 1% tax on earned income over 5 years. It's expected to bring in about $655,000 annually. The levy is supposed to help the district recover its finances. Since April, the district has been in fiscal emergency and is facing an $11 million deficit. This is the first time in almost 50 years the district has put the tax levy on the ballot. East Fairfield Career and Technical Schools held a ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrating the opening of their new Next-Gen Training Center in Fairfield County. Located on the Fairfield Career Center campus, the 3,400 square foot facility features state-of-the-art equipment and the latest career-focused programming, giving students the skills they need to jumpstart a successful career.
And we want every kid to be able, every child to be able to kind of live their dream and to get the training that they want to have. And so this is a great place, and they're doing great work here.
The opening of the Next Gen Training Center comes as the demand for career technical education continues to increase. Over the past 4 years, the number of students participating in career tech in the state of Ohio has grown 10%. Ohio could soon require doctors to implement new care practices for domestic violence survivors. The Break the Silence Act creates new mandatory standards for care for instances of suspected domestic violence. Under the bill, practitioners would need to conduct private interviews with their patients to document possible abuse-related injuries. The Ohio Domestic Violence Network backs the bill. Domestic violence deaths in Ohio surged last year, with ODYN reporting a 37% increase over year. In most of the nation's anticipated races, New York City's voters elected Zohran Mamdani as their next mayor. The 34-year-old Democratic Socialist took 50.4% of the vote, beating out former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa. In his first speech as mayor-elect, Mamdani promised New Yorkers what he calls a mandate for change.
New York, tonight you have delivered a mandate for change. A mandate for a new kind of politics. A mandate for a city we can afford. And a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that.
Beginning in his term in 2026, Mamdani will make history as New York's first South Asian and Muslim mayor. More Election Day history took place as Virginia voters elected their first female governor. Former Democratic Congresswoman and CIA officer Abigail Spanberger earned 57.2% of the vote, defeating Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. Spanberger's campaign focused on affordability, addressing local concerns about the impact of the government shutdown. Spanberger's victory gives national Democrats hope as they continue to push back against President Trump and his administration. Coming up, the Supreme Court hears arguments around Trump's tariffs, what this could mean for your money. And at least 9 people are dead after a cargo plane crash in Kentucky.
You know, we saw those warmer temperatures, but you're seeing snow on our forecast next on Newswatch.
PBS viewers believe that businesses that sponsor PBS on WOUB Public Television have a commitment to quality and excellence. Sponsoring a PBS television program offers your business a unique opportunity to connect with a highly engaged, loyal, and trustful audience in a clutter-free environment, leading to increased brand awareness, positive perception, and potential for higher customer engagement. Your sponsorship is important to the community, and the rewards come back to you in the form of loyal customers. Align your organization with America's most trusted news and public affairs network. WOUB Public Television is worthy of your trust. Contact Corporate Support Director Kathy Malesic at 740-593-4909 or online at woub.org/support.
The Ohio Art Corridor is a destination experience. We would like this to be the largest outdoor art gallery in the world.
Portsmouth was able to field an incredible team for a brief moment in the sun that almost was sweet enough to get them a national championship.
We got land granted to us in Ohio. Great opportunity. Let's go. How would you know you got here? It was just sheer determination and patience and just hard, back-breaking work.
The bridge was acclaimed at the time of being an engineering marvel.
Progress is all about taking the lessons of the past and doing better. So I would hope that now that we know better, we will do better.
Most significant case in years and will involve the U.S. economy and the wallets of American consumers. The justices will be hearing arguments over President Donald Trump's emergency tariffs. Karen Kafa explains what it means for consumers' money.
The fate of President Donald Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs on the line at the U.S. Supreme Court. And the White House argument facing some skepticism from conservative justices like Amy Coney Barrett.
Can you point to any other place in the code or any other time in history where that phrase, together regulate importation, has been used to confer tariff-imposing authority?
The Trump White House has leaned on a 1970s-era emergency law to impose duties on dozens of countries because, they argue, the law allows a president to, quote, regulate importation during emergencies. And it's that term that's at the crux of the debate.
I heard you mention a little bit about snow, which is very strange because today it felt like almost summer, fall vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
You know, we did have that kind of second summer. We had our first frost kind of over the weekend. We had those cooler temperatures, and then today we kind of felt complete opposite, and that's just because of this warm push just before we start getting cooler temperatures, feeling a little bit more seasonal out there. So today it kind of felt like you got to put that jacket away. But if anything, you're going to need to keep that around. And then those cooler temperatures hopefully are going to be sticking around here in southeast Ohio. Right now, we are going to be seeing on our radar that those cooler temperatures are going to be sticking around, and we're going to have a little bit of rain in our forecast for these next few days. On that local radar, there is a little bit of a clearing. We're going to be seeing those a little bit higher humidity for tonight. If you're above I-70, you might have a little bit of rain out there, but here in Athens, just some clouds to move in right before we get a little bit of a clearing. We're seeing those temperatures right now starting to cool down for the day. We are at almost 70 for the day. Right now in Athens, 67 degrees. As we head a little bit more north, they're starting to cool down already. We've had that sunset for quite over an hour from right now. So we are starting to cool down, and as we head south, a little bit warmer, 68. Tonight we'll be cooling down to about that 30-degree mark, and that wind that is going to be picking up because of this. We're going to see those gusts, 23 miles per hour gusts right now, and those are going to continue as we head later into the night. But as we head into tomorrow morning, that'll be just pushing in some clearer air. We're going to see that overnight low 35, like I said, almost those 30s. Be pretty cool night for tonight, mostly clear skies, and those clear skies are going to continue for tomorrow with this high pressure that is just set up in our area. Again, like I said, we had that second summer. We had a good push of warm air right before this cold front. We're going to continue to have this warm push for a couple more days. We are going to be seeing that clearing and then have this low pressure kind of set up for us as we head into our weekend. But again, 12 hours ahead, that high pressure really gets to set up once we get to this time tomorrow. Really good clearing, so if you do have to head outside, if you have any outdoor plans for your Thursday, it is going to be a perfect Thursday for that. And if anything, it's going to be feeling a lot more like fall, a little cooler than today, 57 for our high and our low of 37. So if you do have to head outside, just that light jacket's needed. Not as much t-shirt weather. We're starting to get a little bit more like sweater weather out there, mostly sunny skies. And then we're going to be looking at 2 days out. So Friday, we do have a little bit of a chance for some more rain in our area as this low pressure system starts to move its way through. With that cold front, that gives us another little push of a little bit warmer air for your Friday. The temperature is a little bit warmer. Friday, if you are heading outside for those football games, you might need to bring that umbrella with you. It's not looking like too severe of rain out there, but we will have a good sprinkle out there for your Friday night before we get a little bit of a clearing once again, before this kind of polar jet kind of sweeps down into our area, giving us back into those about normal temperatures for our winter. And where that S word comes in, where that snow comes in, we're going to be seeing on our 7-day outlook that Sunday, and as we head into Monday, For right now, we do have a light chance for that snow as we head into early week next week, and especially as you head a little bit more north and more east, that chance for snow does increase just a little bit more. But as we head into our area, we're going to be seeing those higher elevated areas having a little bit higher of that chance for some snow as you head into early week next week. But you do have a little bit of a break before those cooler temperatures. We're going to be seeing Friday, Saturday in those 60s. And then as we head into early week next week and as we roll into the rest of November, being a little bit more to those average temperatures and without that snow once again.
Thank you, Isabel. Kentucky is in a state of emergency following a deadly crash at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. A UPS freight plane went down after takeoff yesterday evening, killing at least 9 people, and the number is expected to rise. Lee Waldman has the latest.
Graphic video shows the moment the MD-11 transport aircraft operated by UPS erupted into flames as it slammed into an industrial area around the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, leaving multiple people dead.
Just the heat immediately that all of us felt was so terrifying.
Keela Kennedy saw the plane go down while working at a nearby restaurant.
Seeing all of my friends and coworkers and customers in panic, it was like a movie, unreal.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says despite the massive damage, it could have been much worse.
But let me tell you, this plane barely missed a restaurant bar. It was very close to a very large Ford plant with hundreds, if not 1,000+ workers.
Crews still pouring water on the scene Wednesday as first responders scour the charred wreckage for potential victims. A team from the NTSB on scene to investigate the crash. UPS has deep ties to Louisville. Worldport, the company's massive shipping hub at the airport, has halted operations. The company says more than 20,000 employees handled 300 flights per day and sort more than 400,000 packages per hour.
This is a tragedy for the victims that we've lost. It's a horrible event for everyone that's part of the UPS family and our entire city.
In Louisville, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Today marks the 36th day of the federal shutdown, officially making it the longest government shutdown in United States history. However, a small group of lawmakers are planning to end the standoff. The plan would include the Democrats getting a standalone vote as long as it passes in the Senate. The Democrats originally wanted an extension of subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. However, there's no guarantee the vote will pass. Despite the government shutdown, the U.S. economy is surprising many analysts with the addition of 42,000 private sector jobs. This is 4,000 more than what analysts predicted. The latest employment snapshot comes from payroll processing company ADP. These numbers typically serve as a proxy for the government's official jobs tally from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The government shutdown prevented the release of an official jobs report for October, and a report for November isn't expected either. Airports across the country are preparing for upcoming holiday travel season. Passengers are being warned to expect longer delays and disruptions because of the government shutdown. Jen Sullivan explains passengers' rights when you fly.
Passengers at airports across the country are dealing with delays and cancellations. The ongoing government shutdown is causing staffing shortages, and that's straining air travel.
We just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers.
All of this coming as millions of people are expected to fly ahead of a busy holiday season, which is why it's so important for passengers to understand their rights at the airport.
We've come a long way in the last couple of years for passengers to have rights.
Melanie Fish is a travel expert with Expedia. She recommends double-checking your airline's policies, but there are certain rights every passenger has. Last year, the Department of Transportation launched a list of rules that protect passengers. Airlines must automatically issue a full refund if your flight is canceled or significantly changed. That means if your domestic flight is delayed by more than 3 hours and more than 6 hours for an international flight, you are entitled to a refund. If you're flying domestically, airlines must deliver your checked bag within 12 hours of arriving or reimburse you for any checked bag fees. If your flight is significantly delayed or canceled, you can ask the airline to give you a meal voucher or cover costs to stay at a hotel, but they're not required to do so. This is the DOT's website. It breaks down what major U.S. airlines will pay for during flight disruptions. Look for those green checks. To avoid travel headaches during the shutdown, Fish recommends this.
It's more important than ever to book that first flight of the day and a direct flight if you can.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Haagen-Dazs is recalling many ice cream bars sold at Kroger and Giant Eagle in 31 states because of allergy concerns. The recall is for the dark chocolate mini ice cream bars that are sold in a 6-count package. They have a best buy date of January 31st, 2027. According to Haagen-Dazs parent company, Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream says the product may contain wheat, but it is not disclosed on packaging. So far, no illnesses have been reported.
The Ohio football playoffs are in full swing, and we're going to take a look at some teams that had a bye last week.
And don't forget about our game of the week, a rematch from a few weeks ago. Stay tuned for the 2-minute drill.
On Masterpiece Mystery. What did you give the Countess in church this morning? You have no jurisdiction here, but I'm not going away.
Maigret thinks Anton Bertie's killer might be here.
And we are wasting time.
Why'd you tell lies in public?
You're trying to send a message to someone, aren't you? You're playing a dangerous game, boss.
Is Maigret any closer to identifying the real killer?
Stick around. Maigret, the season finale on Masterpiece Mystery.
Sunday at 9 on WOUB.
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett.
Miss Austen was sister to the great lady novelist Jane Austen.
What's she doing here?
My name's...
I know exactly who you are.
The lady detective. Miss Scarlett, isn't it?
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett!
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett.
Come along.
You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
This is our chance to prove ourselves.
Here's to possibilities.
Well, then we best get started.
There's much about me that you don't know.
You're persistent, I'll give you that. You have been busy.
Justice never sleeps. Every time I see you, there are more of you. And we're even more successful.
You are many things. You're not boring.
Let's not get carried away.
We are going to do this together. I'm really impressed.
We're looking for 3 tons of gold. It's murder. We have a match.
Probably just coincidence.
Nope.
There's never a dull moment.
Week 12 is here, and we are in the heart of the playoffs. Over 100 teams were eliminated last week, but some teams got a bye, and we'll take a look at them coming up.
Yeah, but we've got plenty of action to get through, so let's start that timer right now, and let's start in Region 11.
One of the toughest regions in all of Ohio, headlined by Bishop Watterson, defending state champions. They'll take on Grandville, who beat Sheridan in a thriller last week.
Yeah, a couple other teams in our coverage area in this region, though. Hamilton Township looking for their first multi-win playoff season since 2016. Be a great year for the Rangers. Another team, they're facing Tri-Valley, who's historically been good in the playoffs, especially under head coach Cam West. Bloom Carroll, another team. They lost out on a bye after a very tough regular season finale to Circleville, but they have Licking Valley this week. They're looking to play spoiler in Region 11.
Licking Valley 10-0 team. Another 10-0 team in Region 15 is Uni Odo. They're looking for their second playoff win in program history, but they'll have a tough one ahead of them.
Yeah, but the stats don't lie about this Uni Odo team. 4 points per game defensively. Yes, that is a real stat. I know it's hard to believe. Offensively, though, they're led by some good weapons. Cody Braden, Jackson Zikafus have both really stepped up this year for the Uni Odo offense. It's really been a balanced year for the Shermans. Not only have they been great defensively, but offensively as well.
Let's jump down now to Region 27. Had a huge upset on Friday. Trimble upset South Gallia, one of 3 12 seeds to win on Friday.
Yeah, what an impressive performance it was for Trimble. They took down a very tough South Gallia offense. Another tough offense they're going to face this week is Sims Valley. Same conference, South Gallia took down Sims Valley in that Week 10 thriller to get the 5 seed. It should be fun this week between Trimble and Sims. Tomcats, though, need to rely on their defense. A couple other teams. Fisher Catholic hasn't won a playoff game since 2006, but they arguably have one of the toughest 11 seeds ever in Danville, who's historically been good in this region.
For sure, a really good team. But let's take it down to the game of the week. Miami Trace Jackson, a Week 9 rematch. Jackson won the first one 41-27 in Week 9.
Yeah, Miami Trace, though, in that game started off with a 14-0 lead. These two also played in the playoffs in 2022. Jackson won by 37. I quite honestly don't think that'll happen this year. This Miami Trace team, they've slowly been closing the gap, and you got to think, Evan, maybe this is the time they get it done. That's all the time we have, though, for this week's edition of the 2-Minute Drill. But make sure you stay tuned Friday night. We got plenty of action for you, right, Evan?
For sure. To catch more previews, head over to WOUB to check out the pregame huddles with my man Josh. And on Friday, to catch up with all the action that already happened, watch Gridiron Glory live at 11:30 on WOUB.
Still ahead, Athens kids get a cooking lesson from a furry friend. And we'll be right back after the break. But for now, here's a look at what's coming up next on your public television station.
In some ways, Portsmouth was one of the last small cities to field a team and get a franchise. What was kind of extraordinary about Portsmouth was it was able to field an incredible team. For a brief moment in the sun, a little sweet spot that almost was sweet enough to get them a national championship, but they put together the team that ultimately did win the championship in 1935 in Detroit.
Hey. Hey, you. We know what you did. And we think you're just the most magnificent person ever. Because you support public television. And you did it by donating your car to our station. Vehicle donations like yours bring significant funding to the quality news and programming you turn to every day. So now, it's time to celebrate you and all of our supporters that keep us going.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
It's so nice to have you here. It's worth it.
Wheels up in 5.
Very simple, but very elegant food.
I'm trying to save your father's life.
Excited?
I can't wait.
Every city has its share of savvy hustlers. And it turns out, pigeons are the epitome of street smart. Social, intelligent, agile, and tough. How did the humble pigeon master the urban hustle?
Tonight at 8 on WOUB.
PBS's Rough Ruffman cooked up some culinary lessons for Athens kids. Our very own WOUB Learning Lab hosted its second kitchen chemistry tonight at Jefferson Market. 16 kids, 3rd grade and younger, learned with Rough Ruffman and then used the lesson to bake sugar cookies. Families received resources to continue learning at home and a free book. Parents and kids might have different reasons for why they love the event, but they enjoy it all the same.
Because I get to see Lisa. And I get to make food.
I really like these PBS Kids events that are put on here at the Culinary Studio. It kind of is a great opportunity for the young kids to see some of their PBS shows that they're watching be incorporated in real life.
That's super sweet. I love to hear about that. Yes, I don't know. Is tonight going to be a sugar cookie baking night, though?
Oh, it is definitely starting to feel a little bit more like winter out there, especially as we head into next week. But these temperatures that we have for these next few days, we might have some rain for your Friday. Kind of feeling a little bit warmer, but other than that, it's definitely feeling a lot more like fall out here.
Well, that's great. I'm excited to hear about that. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. For Isabel Isco and for myself, Parker Davis. Stay tuned. Have a good day.